Alright, welcome back everyone. This is going to be another best of three brought to us by the Psystorm Finals. Day one. It is round one. We're going to have Saint versus Mez PVT on Xel'Naga Caverns. 5 grand up on the line for the entire tournament. We're going to be running it over 2 days. Lots of people in this one. It's a round of 32 onwards for this one. It is going to be cast by replays here because the Western Digital and Cybergamer admins did not want any kind of foul play happening. I am, of course, unstable, and I'm joined here by Paz. Are you ready to get into this one, Paz?
Absolutely. It's going to be a very entertaining game. I have known Mez for so long. It'll be interesting to see if he's actually practiced up for this match.
Okay. Well, Saint actually doing pretty well in a lot of the tournaments around the place in SCA recently, making the round of 8 for SCA Open in the last week. Mez doing pretty well in pretty much everything he's done so far, at least making round of 16 for most things that I've seen. And I think he also took out an SCA Open a couple weeks ago. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think he did. Yeah. It's hard to remember though. I haven't really been following the scene recently that much. Milestone at work, but that is over with now. It is all about StarCraft 2.
Yeah. Anyway, so we do have Mez spawning as the orange Protoss at the top right hand corner. And we're going to have Saint as the pink Terran down the bottom left. PVT, I've always been a fan of the 1-gate expand build ever since I was introduced to it. It's extremely strong versus any kind of macro play. If anyone is joining in, this is done by replays, but the game is about half an hour old, so as closest to live as we could get it, according to the admins. If you are experiencing any issues with the stream, please refresh. So let's get into it.
Yeah, pretty standard openings from both players right now. You know, you're getting that a little bit late on the gateway, a little bit late on the barracks, allowing for very fast orbital command. We should see a very fast cybernetics core going down right there. So extremely standard from both players. Very economical, no cheese, no kind of all-in rushes happening. Yeah, pretty standard.
Yeah, well, both these guys are quite confident in their macro play, so they don't really feel the need to try and get a cheap win, because they feel pretty safe going into the late game versus any kind of opponent, which is always good to see. We do have a pretty fast second gas here for Saint, though. That's kind of interesting.
We could be seeing Stargate play. I would love to see some Stargate play. I know the Banshee Marine build is just awesome to watch.
Yeah, we did actually see Banshee Marine versus Pinder last night in the Pinder versus... I think it was Saints as well, yeah. Oh my god, what am I doing? It was Pinder versus Saint anyway. No, sorry, Pinder versus Voices, what am I thinking? But the Marine Banshee build was very, very strong. But luckily Pinder went for 1-gate expand, so we had the economical advantage there to be able to keep pumping units to keep him in the game, which was good to see.
Yeah, so Saint already stocking up a fair amount of gas. He's building his factory and he has over 100 gas saved. And he has a reactor on that barracks, so that is a lot of Marines coming and a lot of gas being mined. We could very well be seeing that build happening right now. It's such an interesting build because you need to really have a lot of multitasking to use it well, harassing with those Banshees and moving your Marines around, you know, taking expansions and things. So it'll be interesting to see how he pulled it off.
Yeah, in the meantime, Saint is being a little bit scouty with this Marine here. He did poke at the bottom of the ramp. He's just hiding behind the trees. In the meantime, Mez does have that Xel'Naga tower. He's going to see pretty much anything coming for him. The only way he couldn't see it is if Saint took the very far left road behind the rocks here, which is exactly where his Marine's going. Nice. In the meantime, we do have a Stargate coming down and a robotics facility for either player, so it's going to be... It has to be this Marine Banshee push that you were talking about. In the meantime... Second gateway going down for Mez. I'd really like to see a third just to flesh out his army there a little bit.
Yeah, it's gone for the pretty standard 1-gate robo opening where you get a very fast observer. He's already rallied that robotics facility into his opponent's base, so observer going to pop out as soon as that's finished, and then we'll see 3 gateways in a robotics facility, I think.
Yeah.
It looks really, really standard right now. He's doing absolutely no scouting, no aggression, just trying to get his army together. Got that sentry on the ramp with enough energy to force field, so he's going to be safe from any kind of push that's coming.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We do actually see Raven coming out, so I was very, very wrong. It is not the Banshee build, although he's getting a second starport, so he may transition into that. Raven, very powerful with these Marines. You can plant down that point defense drone, and all of a sudden the Marine counter, the Stalker unit, is actually kind of useless because all its attacks are being shot down. So really smart play from Saint to get out that Raven. and he's slapping down a bunker as well. So he's going to be just so safe from any kind of aggression. I think it's unfortunate for him that Mez is actually doing this super economical tech build with 4 units on the map right now.
Yeah, he does have that third gateway with that. Unfortunately, the way Ravens work, you really need a High Templar to deal with them effectively. But Mez does see exactly what's coming. He had that observer in the base. He's seen all that kind of stuff. So it's okay to see there. And he does have the factory. It looks like he's going to be scouting with that as well. Fourth gateway. Stargate going down now. That's interesting. I'm not sure whether he'd be getting Phoenixes or Void Rays to deal with this. Either one could be effective a little bit. But Stim is coming out now for Saint. This is some really strong base play coming from him right now.
I think we're definitely going to see Phoenixes coming out of that Stargate. They just rip through Banshees so fast, as they are a light unit, so they do take all that additional damage, just like Mutalisks. So yeah, we could be seeing some very, very strong Phoenix play coming out of Mez, and he is not opting to slap down any extra buildings like a robotic support bay. He's not going for any kind of Colossus or even Templar tech right now, just sticking with his 3 gateways and Phoenixes.
It's probably the correct decision. I think if he expands now, it won't be up in time for him to be able to deal with any kind of harass here. He does have an observer in the middle of his base, just in case that Banshee comes through with Cloak, but he's not going to have Cloak yet. He hasn't even started cloaking research, so he's not going to have to worry about that. But this Phoenix, if he spots this Banshee, that Phoenix is just going to destroy it. He did spot it.
The Banshee.
Phoenix, man, use it. There we go. He's going to chase that down with that Phoenix, which is not the right choice there. We do have more Banshees coming out for Saint, a lot more Marines. A couple of Marauders in the mix. I think that's the right choice, getting a couple of Marauders, just to deal with any kind of Stalkers there, to snipe them as fast as possible. And we do have a push out here from Saint, so it's going to be up to Mez to try and hold this off. Can he do it? I don't know.
That's a pretty decent-sized army from Saint there, and he has more than enough energy to slap down a point defense drone. That is the crucial thing you need to use as a Terran player. It does actually stop Phoenixes and Stalkers from being effective in battle, which is the bulk of the army for Mez right now in terms of damage dealing. You know, he has a bunch of Zealots on the field, but they're not really going to be doing much damage.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like he's trying to snipe a couple of these Banshees, but the Marines throwing away these Phoenixes, just getting rid of them. He's going to start trying a little bit of harassment. Keeping Saint in his base as long as possible, I think, is the best choice.
The Raven is going to go down. That is huge.
Oh, wow. That's really turned the tide here. Without that Raven, it's going to be a completely different story. Oh.
No, without that point defense drone, there is no aggression that is going to work for Saint now.
No.
He just cannot shut down the mass-ranged army from Mez anymore.
Yeah, I think the right choice for Mez now would be to expand. I would have told him to expand earlier, but you need to be wary of that Banshee.
Definitely the right play right now would be an expansion. He has just completely contained his opponent with these Phoenixes, moving around. You know, he's not actually killing anything, but he has gained map control, and that is so important.
In the meantime, we are seeing more Stalkers and Zealots being pushed down. The expansion going down now for Mez. Saint is going to see it, so hopefully we see him throw down an expansion as well, just for this kind of play. We had a supply depot drop. Okay, he must have been really in need of that supply right there. But it's okay. So we got a second Raven coming out. Looks like he's just planning on sticking with his original game plan. Getting another Raven, waiting until he can push out with that one there. So,
defense drone. That is actually a 100 energy skill right there. So,
but the more and more he waits, the stronger position Mez is going to be in.
Absolutely, and that's why sniping that Raven totally changed the flow of this game. This was completely going to be an aggression game from Saint. He had the right unit composition to make sure the Protoss player could never take an expansion, basically. Just keep walking in and threatening him. But then, with losing that Raven, the whole flow turned back around, and now it was Mez who was containing his opponent. Yeah,
and it looks like Mez is going to come out with these Phoenixes here, going to try and snipe the Raven again. If he does that, he's going to be huge. And he comes in from the side. He's going to just see it. He did just see the army moving out. Oh, my God.
Raven.
Oh, wow. Oh. That is just going to make Saint
now look,
rage.
The Banshees as well, taking big damage. There are only 3 Phoenixes left, but they will just rip through those Banshees so fast.
Yeah, absolutely. He did lose 2 Phoenixes in that mix, but completely worth it, in my opinion. Right there. His expansion's just about to go up. He's going to get a good flank here. Guardian Shield on everything. He comes to...
So nice Guardian Shields right now. There are no force fields needed. He's just trying to get those Zealots in. Does split the army a little bit there, though. That was really nice. And look at the damage that Phoenix has done. All the air units are dead. This is just demolished from Mez right here. He's just taking this army apart.
Yep. And that has to be a GG from Saint. I don't see how he can come back from that. He's like completely committed. He's practically mined out. He's going to try and do an expansion maybe, but if Mez just pushes, this is going to be just go downhill from here.
Yeah, with no air control, with no medivacs, that Terran army just cannot live. It stimmed twice, and all of a sudden it had almost no hit points left, you know. It's just so huge to have that air control as a Protoss player.
And he's just going to walk in at the main and go, hey, he has nothing left. He can A-move that army now.
Bye, Raven.
So, I think that was a pretty good tutorial on how to shut down a Raven Marine Banshee play.
Very, very nice play from Mez right there. He made the absolute correct counters at every point in the game. He made all the right choices.
Yep, definitely.
That was actually really impressive. Maybe he has been practicing